Serpent's Gift tells the story of most African women today. It tells the story of how a woman's life changes overnight after the death of her husband. So, Chief Nduka was a very wealthy businessman, one who also made sure that he provided for his family, especially his siblings. He took care of all his siblings, even though they were old enough and could handle their own businesses. Especially Nonso, character played by Stan Nze, he depended on his brother Nduka for almost everything and wasted every opportunity he gave him as well. Even companies his brother gave him to handle, he messed it up. He was so dependent on his brother that when he heard of the passing of his brother, the first thing that he thought of was that his benefactor had passed. That was how his life revolved around his brother. But one thing no one knew was the source of Nduka's wealth, not even his wife, played by Linda Ejiofor, or his lawyer, played by Daniel Etim-Effiong. However, Linda was way younger than Nduka when she met him. Thus, his family was strongly against their marriage. They saw her as a gold digger after the money of their brother. Regardless, Nduka loved his wife so much and still went ahead to marry her. So you can imagine what happens to Linda when her husband Chief Nduka dies shortly after their marriage. She calls his family to announce his death and all break loose for her from then. His death leaves more questions than answers, and their grief quickly gives way to suspicion, and that's where the storm begins to gather around the widow. Instead of comfort, she's met with hostility from her husband's family, who whisper that she knows more about his death than she lets on. Nonso, who feels so entitled to his brother's wealth, immediately swings into action to claim all Nduka's inheritance. They all start to accuse Linda of having a hand in Nduka's death so she can claim his wealth. Thus, they force her to perform several traditional rites to prove her innocence. But when she refuses at first, it becomes clear that she's really a suspect in his death. That's the reason why she's refusing to perform the rite. And that's when the threats start. But what they don't know was that there is a serpent behind Nduka's wealth. Nduka had a covenant with the dark world, which contributed to his mysterious death. This no one knew about, so they decided to accuse his wife. Instead, luckily for her, she had a supportive lawyer who became a very close friend, Daniel Etim-Effiong, who ensured that she was protected and no one tried to harm her. At first, it seems like a simple inheritance dispute, who will take over Nduka's property, but soon, strange events begin to happen in their lives. Every member of the family experienced strange happenings, whispered warnings in the dead of night, sudden accidents, and an old family servant who mutters about the serpent's gift, a dark legacy passed down through generations. It was at this point they decide to drag Nduka's wife to perform the traditional rite at all costs. As the family spirals into chaos, secrets buried in Nduka's past start to surface. Old deals, hidden betrayals, and a mysterious legacy, what many call the serpent's gift, begin to unravel. His wife, however, fights desperately to defend her dignity and her late husband's memory. With time, they find out that there is more to Nduka's passing than meets the eye. Was Chief Nduka's death a natural tragedy, a murder born of greed, or the final payment of a dark inheritance that none of them can escape?
It's an important story to tell because it's a story of every Nigerian woman.
This is a film that you wouldn't want to miss for anything.
It's the message of this film and how powerful and strong this film is.
Especially with the stellar cast of Stan Nze.
Are you planning to shut us out of our brother's house or what?
Daniel Etim-Effiong.
And to show her the love, the care that she needed.
Linda Ejiofor-Suleiman.
Nonso is licking his wounds.
Sina Imba. Beverly Osu, Inem King, hassani, amongst other exceptional actors. Knowing very well that this is a kayode kasum directorial, you just know that this film is a must watch. Serpent's Gift is currently showing in cinemas. This movie is driven by a mix of tradition, ambition, betrayal, and a touch of spiritual undertones. Tell me your expectations for this film, and would you be going to see it? Or probably, have you seen it already? What do you think about it? Is this a good watch if you've already seen it? I personally think this is a good watch, and I definitely would recommend you go see Serpent's Gift. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section. And please, I just dropped a video of Timini Egusung as Actor of the Month August. I really would appreciate if you would go see it, and you'd absolutely love it. Catch you in the next, and until then, the name still remains Omame Abnapukia. See you when I see you. Screw.